Okay, so for Django, we will have this big, humongous file structure. Okay, so I'll be creating one of these in a second. You'll see how big it is, but it's much bigger than the Flask applications we're working with, right? So I'll just point out basically the important files that you need to use. And know that this Django file structure, the way it's set up is that you actually create one big project. Within that project, you can have multiple applications. Okay, so in theory, you could have like multiple assignments all within one big project. Okay, so when I run this command, Django admin start project, I'm actually creating this big project folder, and then I could actually create individual applications within each. Okay, so that's called like using multiple apps. Okay, now for what you guys are doing, you guys are going to make one project and then put just one assignment inside. And then when you make a new assignment, you'll make another project and put another assignment inside. It's a little simpler when you do it this way. If you later on towards the end of the course, right, as you guys get more familiar with Django, if you want to explore how to put multiple applications into one project, you can look at that. Okay, but because of we're doing this one big project with like one little assignment inside, okay, that's partly why this file structure is so complicated. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do when you make a Django project is you're going to load the Django environment. Okay, so just like you installed a Flask environment, you're going to pip install a Django one. Okay, so or pip install Django and then create the Django environment. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my environment. Okay. Okay. Inside my environment, I have a Django environment. Okay. Does anyone know how I might load my Django environment if it was not already loaded? Okay. Yeah. It's also right here. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So I spelled source wrong. Yes. I should not spell source wrong. Okay. All right. So this will activate your Django environment. Okay. And then just like before, right? You want to keep your environments in an environment folder and keep your projects outside the environment folder. Okay. So now I've loaded my Django environment. It says Django env here to indicate that the environment has been loaded. Okay. So I'm going to go up a level, and now I'm going to go to this Django 1 folder. Okay. So for all of my Django assignments, I have a list of all my assignments, but I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to call it Django demo. Okay, so when I create my project, I'm actually going to run this code right here. Okay. So we'll just kind of walk through my cheat sheet because that's what you guys will be doing for the most part. Okay, the platform covers it in kind of like a more expanded format. Mine is just kind of straight up just the commands you'll be running. Okay, so first line is this one. Okay, so what am I going to type here? Django admin start project. Okay, and then what I'm going to put here? Name of the app. Okay, all right. So remember, this is your project folder name. Okay, so I like to call it assignment, but you could also call it like first_app_project, whatever you want to call your project. Okay, so I'm going to call this one Django demo. Okay.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Is this the name of the project or is this the name of the app?
This is the name of the project. Okay, so I'm going to call it, we can call it proj. Okay, Django demo proj. Okay, so this is the, I created that. Okay, now there's a Django demo proj. Okay, and I can cd into it. Okay, and then I'm just going to show you what that did for us. Okay, so that created this file structure. Okay, now this is a little hard to see, but I don't know. I don't know if this is better. Whoa, that's loud. Okay, I'm going to mute this. First, I'll mute. Mute. Okay. And we are going to go to my desktop, and I just took a screenshot, which was this one. Okay. All right. I don't know if this is this easier to read? Well, it's pretty blurry though. Okay. All right. Okay. So that one command created this entire file structure. Okay, so we have our project. Inside the project, you actually have another folder that's called the exact same thing, which is the project. Okay, and then you have this manage.py. Okay, all right. So I have done that. Now I'm going to go back to here. Okay, and I'm going to make. So that made the project folder. I'm going to make the application now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am currently at this project folder directory, right? I'm going to go into the subdirectory that's called the same thing, Django demo project. Okay, so I'm going to dig into this. Okay, and then now this has these files inside. Okay, I'm going to make a new directory called apps. Okay, so I'm going to put each of my individual applications inside this project folder. Okay, so I make directory apps. I'm going to go into the apps folder, and then I also need to create this init.py file. Okay, so touch creates the init.py file. So if I go back to here, or here, right, then there's an apps folder and there's an init.py. Okay. Oops. All right. So after I've done that, I'm going to now make my app. So python /manage.py. Okay, and then what am I going to put here?
Start and then
The name of the app. Yeah. Okay, all right, so this time I'm going to call it Django demo app. Okay, so it just makes it a little clearer which one's which. Okay, so I'm going to start this, and it says no, it's not happy.
because there's already a manage, isn't there?
Probably one directory off, right?
My one directory off. I am inside the apps folder. I created init.py, python cat open file /manage.py. Am I in the wrong thing?
The app folder? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I need to go up a layer first, I guess.
So you create one directory.
Let's see, apps. I don't create apps here. Is that right? Create apps. First, did I skip something? Oh gosh. Okay, let's see. So we made this. Here, I'll just compare it to another one I did. All right, hold on. Let's compare the file structure. Make sure it's the same. All right. So here I have this one. Where's my other one? My other one's here. Okay. So let's wait for a second. Django demo, Django project. Oh, I didn't see into this first. I skipped one. That's why. Okay. All right. Let's start over. Okay. Let's start over. We will go projects. Apps was supposed to be there. Okay. I should not have CD inside first. Okay. Let's start over. So let's blow this away. Okay. Django demo lodge. Okay, alright, so we'll start over again. Okay, so here's this. Oh yeah, CD twice, that's why. Yeah, okay. Alright, so I'm going to write this again. So Django admin start project. And we're going to call it the proj folder, right? So we're going to call it Django demo _ project. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to cd into it Django demo project. Okay. Now I'm going to make the apps directory. Now I'm going to go into apps folder, and then I'm going to touch. Okay, and now I'll run this /manage.py start app, and then we'll call this the Django demo app. Okay, all right. So I think this is better. So I'm going to go up one more directory. And I'm going to open this. Yeah, I'm going to open this. Okay, and this time I'm not making the same mistake I just made. So I'm going to go back into the apps folder. All right, so that's where it was before. Okay, so here we have our file structure. Okay, and here we have all of the files. Okay, so this is correct. Okay, so let me take another snapshot. Show what this looks like. So desktop, this one. Okay, let's get rid of this guy. Okay, all right. So this is what it looks like. Okay, you have your big top level project folder. Okay, inside that you have an apps folder. Inside the apps folder you have each of your individual apps. Okay, and then you have this other project folder. Okay, so this is like the project folder. The files in here are for basically your settings and your URLs for the project, and the ones inside here are for the specific application. So actually, if you open this up, you would see a whole bunch of other files too. So here. Let me do that again. Okay, so we have inside the apps folder, you have like each individual app. Each individual app has its own, like, for instance, init.py, and there's, it's not even there yet. It has its own basic settings, okay? And then you have another set of settings within the project. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to go back to this, okay? So I just finished making my app. I'm going to go into that app. Oops. So I'm going to go into Django demo app. Okay, and then I'm going to create a urls.py file. I'm going to make the templates directory, and then I'm going to make another directory called. All right, what are we going to put here? What should we replace first app with?
Django demo.
Yeah, Django demo app. Okay. All right, so I make that directory. Okay, and then if I want to, I can also make some HTML files. So I could go into the templates /first_app. Oh, not Django demo app. And then I could make an index.html.
Next to template, you can also do static one. Next to template, you can do a static. With all the
You could probably do that. I don't know if it'll work out of the box. You may have to like route it to Foamy, but you can also just put the index.html directly in here as templates. Okay, that's what I think is what the platform tells you to do. Okay. All right, so we've done that, and then I'm gonna go up. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to open the project, which I already have opened. Yeah. Okay. So I already actually have the project open. So this is the okay. So this is your final project built out, basically, in terms of just files. Yeah. Okay. That's it for the file structure. So let's take a look at that again. So this one. Okay. Put this guy too. Demo app. All right. Okay. You guys see this? Okay. This is what the final file structure looks like. Okay. So there's a lot of files. Okay. So again, right, we have our big top-level project folder. We have the apps folder. Inside the apps folder, you have an individual app, which is basically all of this. Okay. And then inside of that, okay, you have this urls.py, but you have another urls.py here. Okay, so this is urls.py for your entire project, and this is like the subdirectory urls.py for each individual app. Okay, so you can have one big project, have multiple urls.py, and then have each urls.py in here point to a different different like app basically within your big project. Okay, so you have these two different files, and you have to make sure you keep track of which one you're modifying basically. Okay, within templates, okay, because it shares all these templates, we're also going to have this other app folder. All right, this is for that specific app, and then you can put your index.html and all your HTML files inside here.
For that app.
For that particular app, yeah. But you guys will only, at least for now, you guys will only be building one app per project. Okay, so this is basically, you have to do all this stuff basically just to even like get it to display one page. Okay, like hello. Okay, so it's a bit more complicated than Flask, right? But yeah. All right, any questions on this file structure so far? Okay. All right. So after we get this file structure up and running, right? There's actually a few other things you need to do. Okay. You need to set into your project management folder. So the project management folder is this one. Okay. I'm calling this one the project management folder. Okay. So in that file, you need to, in the settings.py file, you need to make sure you're including the app. Okay. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to here. Not this one, but this one, okay? In the settings.py file, and then I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to follow. These are a list of all the apps that are in place, okay? So you have some apps that are already sort of provided for default for you some of your functionality, like sessions and stuff like that, okay? But you're going to add one, basically, okay? And here, do you guys think this is the project name or the app name? App name, yeah. Okay, so Django demo app. Okay, make sure you include this comma. Very important. Okay. All right, so that's that step. And then from here, you also need to go to the urls.py file in the project management folder. So that becomes this one. Okay. And you need to add something as well. So what you need to add there is this line. Okay. So add this here. Okay, what do you think this thing needs to say?
Your project name of the app.
Yeah, name of the app again. Yeah, okay, so Django demo app. Okay, you also want to add this include right here. Okay, I have a note here. Add the comma include. Okay, make sure again remember make sure you include the comma. Okay, so you do that, and it goes here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we've done both of these things. Okay, and then now we need to you need to add some default routes and some default like index method to display something. Okay, so now we go to urls.py again. Okay, but this time we're not modifying the project urls.py, we're modifying the apps urls.py. Okay, so now you go to this urls.py, which is currently empty, and you can add something like this. Okay, so this is the regex that we're going to be covering later. Okay, so I'll cover this in a little bit. Okay, but basically this is how you set up your routes. Okay, previously, right, you wrote like @app.route, right, and then the method directly following it was what happened. Here we have a regex pattern match, okay, and then it points to a specific method. Okay, so this means the views class or the views file, okay, and this is the index method on that file that it's going to go to. So whenever something matches this path, a route matches this regex, okay, it's going to run this particular method rather than just @app.route and running the method directly underneath it. Okay. Any questions on this so far? I know it's a lot of setup.
Why you have a comma app and then the
This one? You don't need this one. But if you have it, it won't hurt, and it'll allow you to add like a second path later.
okay.
Yeah,
For
so-
the last one will have no comma. You kind of say
Yeah, you can. Your last one can have no comma, but if you have a comma there and there's nothing afterwards, it still works. Yeah. So I just typically just add the comma to the end. But great question. All right. Any other questions on this? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go back to the views.py. Okay. This is like the equivalent of your server.py file. Okay. And I'm going to create my method. Okay. So again, I've provided that for you for what that's going to look like. Okay. So I'm going to copy this, paste it in here. I have an index method which is going to run, okay, just like with Flask. And then what do you guys think goes here? Okay, so it's this one. Okay, so we have this templates folder, and then we have this templates folder, and then you have this name, and then you have the file name. Okay, so it has to match this thing, which will also be the same as your app name. Okay, because these two, are the same. Okay, just like these two are the same. Okay, so Django demo app /index/html. Okay, and I think that's it. Okay, so if I made no mistakes in doing this, okay, I should be able to run it now. Python manage.py run server. Uh-oh. Let's see. I probably am not at the right folder. Alright, so we need to from here. Okay, so you gotta make sure you're in the right file directory. This is just inside the project folder. There is a manage.py file, so I want to run it from here. .py run server. Alright. Okay, so it is up and running. Okay, I'll talk about this in a second, but it's up and running. Your server is running. Okay, so now if I go to the browser, okay, go host 8000. I get an empty page because I haven't added anything to my HTML file yet. Okay, so if I wanted to make sure this is all working, I would go to index.html and I just say like hello. Okay, refresh the page. There we go. All right, so I have my application up and running. Yes. Okay. No mistakes.
What was the success page? It came.
Yeah, there's is there a default success page? It might be because I put the method and the routes in already. I think maybe if you don't add that, it might be something like that. I don't quite remember.
Like maybe the debug.
The debug,
Maybe.
like the Django success page.
Yeah.
For the okay, I'm not sure. I don't remember. Yeah, if you had some portions missing, but you're gonna have to do all the steps I just showed you anyways, right? To get all your views to show. Okay. All right. All right, what now? Okay, so we got the project up and running. I'm going to I'm gonna check my notes, see what else I want to cover next. All right, so I want to remind you guys that all of that, right, is just following these steps. So if you make a mistake, right, it basically just means that it's not working. It just means that you made a mistake somewhere. Like you forgot a comma, you forgot to import something, or you created something in the wrong file structure. Okay, so just check your file structure. I guess what I can do is I can also send out. I think you have it on the platform already has what the file structure looks like, right? Somewhere. Is it? Is there already a thing of what the file structure looks like somewhere on the platform? All right, I will just send out. I'll send out this image also then. Okay. So you just make sure that whatever project you're making, it matches this kind of file structure. Okay. And then you can help find out if you made an error. Okay. You can either try to fix it manually or you can just kind of start over basically. Okay. All right, so after you have the file structure running, I want to walk through what is actually happening in terms of the flow of the application. So, okay, so when all right, so let's start this again. Okay, what is it? What goes here?
Lines.
All right, what goes here? Okay, and what is this? Request. Alright, okay. So what's the first thing that happens? Get request, right? Okay, so we have someone goes to James site. Okay. / Okay. What's the first thing that happens in terms of logic for my application? The get request. Yeah. So what file do you think gets checked first? Huh? Index. Okay. So how does it know to go to the index? Huh? It's my first route. Exactly. Yeah. So this urls.py. Okay. This regex right here. Okay. Even though it looks a little like crazy, like what that means. Okay. That just means that's the slash. Okay. Basically, this means like nothing. This little caret sign, upper caret sign, means like beginning of some match, and then dollar sign is like end of the match kind of thing. Okay, so this means there's basically nothing there, so it's just a slash. Okay, so whenever you go to just slash, it's going to go to views.index. Okay, so from here we're going to go to this views.py file. Okay, and it's going to run this index method. Okay, so what do you? So we go here. And go to our urls.py, urls.py, which is your route. Okay, this is similar to app.route. Okay. Next thing, it's going to go to views.index, or whatever method you write into here. Okay, this happens to be index, so it's going to go to the index. Okay, so it's going to go to views.index method, which is the define index. Okay, and this is the same as server.py index. Okay, all right. What's next? What happens after it hits this method, index method?
It renders the file.
Renders the file. Okay, so it's going to what file is it going to render? Here. Yeah. So it's going to render the file at this particular path: Django demo app index.html. Okay. So I just have to go to my templates folder, Django demo app, find the index.html. Okay. So it's going to render this file. Okay. Now, if I had, something like this inside, right? What would happen?
It wouldn't display anything.
It wouldn't display anything because I'm not passing it in yet, right? Okay, but if I was passing it in, right, this will get evaluated, just like with Jinja, right, with our Flask, right? This will get evaluated some string or some number or something like that, right? And then the HTML will get generated. Okay, so here we go to our number 4. I can't count. Okay. I should probably stop the recording, huh? I'm gonna pause the recording. Yeah, this is gonna be humongous. Pause the recording.